that was probably one of the best meals I've cooked in a while. Hey guys, I am starting this video in the same spot that I ended yesterday's, in the same clothes on the same day. But anyway, now I'm a weirdo. I've always been a weirdo. You're welcome. Okay, so here's the situation. I did the top cabinets, I did the countertops and all that yesterday, which it doesn't look like it anymore, which I mean it kind of does. There is a jug over there. Hold on, I'll show you what it looks like. Yesterday when I was outside, I was trying to smell the roses, you know, stop and smell the roses. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, look at that. Anyways, I have a beautiful plant down there that has beautiful roses on it, a beautiful flower, you know, a rose bush. And I was trying to smell it and it broke off. It just broke. Like a long piece broke. Never happened before. Freaked me out. And I'm telling you, I don't remember what kind of rose this is, but oh, it is the best smelling rose. So good. Not ever, because I can't say that, because I have had others that smell just as good. But anyway, yesterday, when this broke, it was right before we were fixing to leave, so we didn't have time to actually look for something. So Jeff just grabbed one of the jugs that we fill up and take water down to the mobile home in. We take the water down there. It's clean water. We don't put anything dirty in these jugs. We put clean water down there to take down there and wash things like our hands and stuff. So he grabbed that. We stuck the flour in there. And last night I took the stem of it and I clipped it into 3 pieces. That piece and 2 more. Let's just show you. And I don't know if this is going to work or not. I read how to do it, which it just said to stick it into water. I mean, stick it into dirt, soil. I just stuck it in here. I just stuck the stems in there, and I'm going to see if they'll root. And if they'll root, they're going to my land. Because I love that rose, and I do not know what kind it is. I don't know which one it is, but it smells... Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to jiggle y'all around. I want to say jobble. But anyway, it smells just divine. It smells wonderful. So today is cleaning the bottom cabinets and the dishwasher, the stove front, you know, the fronts of them, and this thing, the cold cabinet, the refrigerator. Also, I want to tell y'all about something. Totally not sponsored. I purchased this with my own money. It's something that I had heard about several times, and I decided to order. I started off with the washing machine cleaner, and I thought, you know, let's try it. I know I was using another kind, but this is a whole year's worth, because you do it twice a month with this. It's a whole year's worth in a box, and it was much cheaper in the long run, so I thought I'd try it. I liked the way it worked, so I went on and I got the dishwasher kind. And oops, and I like it too. The only thing is it has talc in it. This does, the dishwasher kind. And I don't know if that's bad or good. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know. Anyway, so then haven't tried this one yet. Don't know if it's good or not, but I got the coffee maker kind. And they all have different ingredients, but they all have citric acid in them, I think. That one does not have citric acid. Okay, the washing machine kind does not. But they're like a year's worth for like $19, where I was paying $5 for 3 months worth. So added up, that's $40 a year. So this is cheaper, and I thought I'll give it a try. I'll link this down below for you guys just in case you want to try it. But so I don't know about the coffee maker one. I'm going to try that one, but I haven't tried it yet. But I do like, so far, I like the washing machine and the dishwasher kind. And the whole reason I'm telling y'all this is because I was about to talk about the dishwasher and the washing machine, that I've cleaned them recently. I am going to get all of these 3 appliances on one schedule. They have a bunch of different cleaners. I don't even know what all they have cleaners for, but I know there's a lot of them, and they seem really good. Now, I don't know if they're all clean ingredients. I don't know if they're all, you know, the greens ingredients or whatever, but I thought I'd try it, and so far I like them. Which actually, there's so much greenwashing going on that I don't know what's good and what's bad anymore. But I have noticed there's something else I want to talk to y'all about. Let me go sit down. I'll be right back. Okay, so I want to talk to y'all about this. I got that a little crooked. What y'all doing if they're crooked? Anyways, probably still is. I've noticed something lately. You know, I've been talking about how that certain products that I purchased years ago that was supposed to be like environmentally safe and better for you and all this different stuff. It was supposed to be better for your family, better for your home. Then I noticed the smells of them changed once they sold to these big companies, big corporations. One of those is the one I was using yesterday. Actually, the 2 that I was using, the Method, well no, the 2 I filled up, the Method antibacterial and the Method all-purpose. I noticed that they changed. The smell of them did change once I swapped over. It was like the smell stuck around a lot longer, and it caused me a little bit of nasal irritation sometimes, but not all the time. That's why it's so weird to me. I don't know. Anyway, I noticed that. So because I started noticing all these things, I notice a lot of things now. Okay, now Persil, they've never said they were natural. They've never said anything, you know, environmentally safe or anything that I know of. They might have, I don't know. But anyway, I have used it for a couple of years now, off and on. But I noticed the last that I got, even though it's the same exact scent and everything, my clothes, which right now I'm using Gain, but my clothes have a chemical smell almost after I use them. And I know there's chemicals in the laundry detergent. I know that. Y'all are too far up and I feel like I'm having to sit weird. Anyway, I know there's chemicals in the clothing detergent, but it's this off-putting smell. And yesterday I noticed that in something that I haven't worn in a while, but I washed it with Persil because I wasn't using the Gain at the time. I noticed that it was there still. And I've been using Gain for about, I don't know, 3-4 weeks maybe. I'm not exactly sure, maybe 2 weeks. But I don't know. It's like, am I getting more sensitive to these things? Or is it they're changing things? I really don't know. I also noticed today that Arm & Hammer has some laundry detergent sheets, and I know there's some brands that you can get that are supposed to be better for the environment and all this stuff. I don't know if they really are. I'm not going to say they are or not. I don't know, but they are better for the environment with the fact that you're not having to have plastic. It's a cardboard box that you can compost. That's the word. But anyway, I don't, at least you're supposed to be able to. I don't know if this Arm & Hammer kind is going to be a good one or not, but I know that I have heard for years, and I keep buying the liquid anyway, but I've heard for years that you're buying a lot of water when you buy the liquid detergent, that you should buy the powder detergent. I don't know why I buy the liquid other than it fits on my shelf. That is the main reason I buy the liquid. Otherwise, I don't mind the powder. But y'all let me know, have you tried any of the laundry sheets that you just like, if you have a medium load, you just tear it in half and put half of it in the washer. If you have a full big load, you put one whole sheet. Or if you have really, really dirty clothes, you put 2 sheets, that kind of thing. I'm wondering how they are, and I'm wondering you know, Arm & Hammer has now gotten onto the bandwagon, so to speak. I wonder how good they are. Because I'm also looking for space savers and a little box in my new pantry laundry room place in the mobile home instead of a big jug or whatever, or box would be nice. But if any of you guys have any of these, even unscented detergent, I'm sensitive to it now. And I never used to be. I could use whatever, anything. But now it's like I smell everything even more. Like I have a more acute sense of smell. And I've always had a pretty good sense of smell, but it's like, wow. I don't know. But I've noticed, like, yesterday I cleaned those top cabinets. I still smell that stuff, and I didn't used to smell it like that. It's not that now it smells like it did right after I cleaned, before they changed companies. But, you know, it's not too strong. But why are they making everything stronger? Is it to make it last longer, to make you want to buy it more, to make you addicted to it? I don't know. Why am I talking about this stuff today? Because it's on my mind. And also because Jeff had to get up at 3 o'clock this morning. So it was another one of those where that I go to bed and I try not to move a muscle because I'm afraid I'm going to wake him up. And then once he goes to work at 3, I'm tossing and turning, can't sleep. Yeah. It's one of those. And actually, I have noticed a correlation with the pain that I have since my surgery and my sleep. If I sleep better, the pain is not as bad. Because y'all know I'm still having pain since my surgery. I told y'all that I would. The doctor told me I would for a while, maybe forever. We don't know. It's according to how the nerve heals. But today, my muscle pain on that side is pretty rough. And I had kind of thought about, well, I'm not going to do those cabinets, but I'm going to be sitting down, so I'm going to do them anyway. I'm not going to just sit in the floor like I normally do. I'm going to find me some sort of cushion or something to sit on. I know the floor is dirty, but I don't care. But anyways, tell me what you think. And I know I have a lot of things in my house. I've got like, that I know they're not good for you. I know that. I still have chlorine in my house. I have Clorox. And I did say after I use up, well, it's not Clorox brand, but it's bleach. After I use that up, I'm not going to buy it anymore because I want to get the chlorine out of my house because I found out all the things it does to you. But it's like this. I read this. I can't remember who posted it or who. Actually, it might have been just that she said it on Instagram. If you're trying to do better, don't throw away everything. Don't feel bad about what you have. Just use it up and then buy better whenever you get the new. And it was a great thing. Let's just talk to y'all about this. Y'all, I have tried over and over again over the years to try to do better, to eat better, to buy better products. And then I just get to this point where I'm like, well, I can't find it anymore, or they're changing it back to the old stuff, or it's just not really better. They lied, they're greenwashing, they're this, that, and the other. So I end up just going back to my old ways. That's what I do. I've done it for years. Not with everything, but with some things. Now my battery's flashing. I'll be right back. Okay, I have zoomed in. Hi! Another thing I do is I will go back to my old ways out of convenience because it's just easier, and I want to stop. I really want to stop, but I keep, it's like this mind block. It's like I was raised a certain way. All of us were. We were all raised with these convenience things, with this stuff that made our lives better, that I want to get rid of. Now, I'm not saying I'm getting rid of everything. I will never be completely, like, no plastics, no chemicals, no, you know, I will never be, well, I'm never going to eat candy again. It's just not going to happen. I'm Sorry, I will still eat candy. It might be a better version, but I will still eat candy. And, you know, I've tried over the years to do better, and some things have stuck. And I feel like what we're doing now, because Jeff and Noah are all in, both of them are in agreement with me with trying to buy more of the organic things that are better for us food-wise. And I know that there's a lot of times where it's more expensive to buy organic, but I have noticed with doing different research and following different people on Instagram that they'll do these swaps, and they'll, like, the store brand of organic will be, it's still organic, it's still good, but it's cheaper than the regular of another brand and things like that, or it's the same price as their other store brand things. I've noticed that it takes more time to look. It takes more time to research, and not everybody has time. I know a lot of you work. When I worked, I didn't have time for any of this. I was just doing what I was doing and getting it done. That's all that I did, and I'm trying to figure things out and bring you guys along with me while I'm figuring it out. But I feel like sometimes on here, I've done it. You can look back at my old videos where I said, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then you'll see us later on, we're not doing it anymore. We did it for a little while, but we're not doing it anymore. Maybe because we couldn't find it anymore. Maybe because it was harder. Maybe because our life changed. Maybe because of some reason. There's always a reason. But I need to make sure that my reason for changing stays with me, and I remember it. That's just like lately, oh my goodness, there's this big thing with a certain cereal brand, and it is the brand of my all brand buds. I'm not going to say the brand on here, but there's supposed to be some kind of petition and lawsuit and all this stuff because they promised to take dyes out of the, you know, the unnatural dyes. I can't think, like the red 40 and all that. They had promised to take it out of their cereal and stuff, and they didn't. And now I'm finding out that even my cereal that helps my body to function properly, my digestive system, that it doesn't have dyes in it, but it has, I think it's BHTs. I don't know what those are, and they're supposed to be carcinogenic. And I'm like, what? This helps my body. What am I going to do? How am I going to still regulate with my yummy cereal? Because it does taste good, y'all. How am I, if I don't have that? If it does have this stuff? And I've told y'all to buy it, to eat it. Now, I have 1.5 boxes left. Actually, it's a little bit more than half. But anyway, it doesn't matter. One in an open box. But the lady that was talking about it, she showed other brands. It's Ezekiel brand that's supposed to be organic and healthier choice. It's not got all that stuff in it. So I'm going to try to find it to see if it helps and test it out and let you guys know if I remember. But y'all, I don't know. What do? Do you try to do the swaps? Do you know the swaps? How do you make yourself healthier in this unhealthy world? How do you get the stuff out of your home when the things that you trusted that were supposed to be better turn out to be just as bad, or actually worse because they lied to you? What do you do? What do you do whenever the chemical composition changes because the company found it was a cheaper way to do it? Y'all, I'm going to tell you a little story. Back years and years ago, you know, the commercial, we wear short shorts. You know, I know that's not exactly how it goes, but I don't want to sing, which I kind of just did, but not really. Anyway, the Nair commercial, well, back a long time ago, I heard that commercial, and then I remembered whenever I was, you know, 17, 18 years old, that I could use Nair to take the hair off my legs, and I didn't have to shave all the time. So I used it for years. Then I stopped using it while I was pregnant because I didn't want to put a chemical on my body, and I didn't use it anymore. I didn't use it 4 years. My children were probably 5 and 6 years old because they're 15 months apart. 15 months and 3 weeks apart. Anyway, I decided to try Nair again after all those years. Like 6, 7, 8 years maybe. I tried it. I ended up going to the doctor. I had to have medicine because I was a mess. I was allergic to it because they changed something in it. Or my body changed. I don't know which one it was. But what do you do whenever something you do use changes because it's cheaper for them? What do you do when something that is supposed to be healthy isn't? What do you do? I mean, this is why I don't sleep. This is why I don't sleep. I think about this stuff all the time. I'm constantly thinking about it. I'm thinking about so many things that I can't rest. And it's actually healthy for me to talk to you guys about it because it gets out of my head. So that's, I guess, why I fell out today. And I do have those times where that all of a sudden it's just like, I don't plan on talking to y'all about it, but it just comes out and there it is. I have so many questions. And I don't know if I made sense just now, but let me know if I did. I'm going to finish my coffee. I was just going to go start the intro. I'm going to finish my coffee and then I'm going to go clean the cabinets. It's such a crazy world. Why is it other countries get to have the decent stuff? Even their candy doesn't have all those dyes, and their cereals they don't have the BHTs and the whatevers and things. Why do other countries have the good stuff and we don't? Why can't our country outlaw those things like other places have? Why can't they make them stop feeding us garbage and putting garbage in our cleaners? I mean, I love my country. Don't get me wrong. I love the United States. Would not want to live anywhere else. But why is it so hard? Why is it more expensive to live that way? Or it's more work because why can't we have the convenience too sometimes? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to go read every single label when I go buy a pack of ham? Which I know ham's not that great for you anyway. It's got a lot of salt and all this stuff. But I'm just saying, it's just an example. Why do I have to go make sure it doesn't have the MSG, and which I know MSG doesn't bother everyone, but it does bother some people. But why do I have to make sure it doesn't have the nitrites and nitrates? Why can't it just not have it? Y'all probably have the same questions. I'm just going to make you feel not alone today. There actually was a lady that I used to watch, and I do believe she quit filming completely. She has dropped off of Instagram. She found out she had a lot of health problems, and I don't know why all of them were, because I never did get a full understanding of it. But she used to do videos on YouTube, and her family, which she had 10 children. She has 10 children. They ate all one ingredient foods except certain things. Like they would buy pasta sauce, a certain brand, but they knew what all was in it. They would buy cheese. Of course, it's not just one ingredient, things like that. But most of their things were one ingredient, and then they would make everything from scratch. And you know, I thought about doing that, but I could never get anybody on board. Now I think I might have gotten my 2 boys kind of on board with that, but not completely. But I don't think we'll ever do that completely one ingredient thing. I don't know. This is just word vomit, and that is gross. I'll be back, 'cause this is my brain.
I lost my ways, no words to say. You're on my mind, and time flies by. I'm cutting down the wires, I'm feeling kinda tired. I think I lost myself, I think I lost it all. You know it's true, I've been thinking about you. You made me feel so safe right when you told me you were mine. But I'm too late.
This is one of the ones that I got before I found out they had swapped it over, and it doesn't have that weird smell, like that strong smell. It's method. I've had it for a very long time because I don't use it very much because it's for stainless steel, but I had stocked up. This is my last one. So they had a sale, and so I stocked up. But did I finish what I was saying earlier about the lady that said, don't feel bad about what you still have in your house that you're wanting to get rid of? Just give yourself grace and give yourself time and just buy better. Is that what did I say that? I don't know. But anyway, there's that done. Now, I'm not going to talk through all of this. I just wanted to say that, and I couldn't remember if I had said it or not. There's that.
You were mine, but I'm too late. I can't undo my mistakes. The time's run out and I'm left standing wet here in the rain. The same cloud hanging over my head. God, I wish you were here to save me from myself. You know it's true. You know it's true. I keep thinking about you. I can't get you out my head. I think you stole my soul. Shadows creeping everywhere. I want you here so badly. I can't get you out my head. I think you stole my soul. Shadows creeping everywhere. I want you here. You know it's true. I've been thinking about you. You make me feel so safe right when you told me you were mine. But I'm too late. I can't undo my mistakes. The time's run out and I'm left standing wet here in the rain. The same cloud hanging over my head. God, I wish you were here to save me from myself. You know it's true. You know it's true. I keep thinking about you.
Okay guys, I'm about to start supper, and I've already peeled a couple of onions, 2 sweet potatoes that I didn't even remember we had. Got those, and a bunch of garlic and regular russet potatoes. Got that peeled and washed, and I've got a half a stick of butter here that I'm about to put into this iron skillet, the biggest one I have. I've got olive oil in the skillet too, but I'm about to just put all of these vegetables in this, and I've got my oven set to 400 to, I'm going to put this stuff in it. Now I do have this on so this can stay warm or stay hot, but I'm not going to be cooking this on the stove top. I don't know what I'm going to call this. I guess it'll be just like steak and potatoes or garlic butter steak and potatoes. I don't know. But I'm going to get the garlic and the potatoes and onion in there first before I put the meat in there, before I even get the meat, what do you call it, cut up. Because I want, the vegetables are going to take longer to cook, is what I'm trying to say. So at first I'm just going to let the vegetables just be all over the pan, but whenever I start to put the meat in there, I'm going to move the vegetables over to one side. At least I hope this is going to work. I might have too much vegetable here. We'll see. Like, too much vegetable to do what I'm wanting to do. I'm glad these sweet potatoes are easier to cut than normal. And I'm cutting them kind of larger because for some reason, sweet potatoes take less time than russets to cook, even though sweet potatoes are harder than russets. That's my experience anyway. So I'm going to cut the russets just a little bit smaller than sweet potatoes. This may not work out. I may have to get 2 skillets. Well, I already have another skillet over there. I may have to use the other skillet. Because in my mind, I envisioned different than what I'm getting here. But I don't care. It's fine. I just want it to be good. I don't know if it will be or not, but I think it will. Well, there went a potato. I'm definitely not going to pick it up and put it in the pan. Bless you. What are you doing over there? I can't hear you. Playing solitaire. Alright, so the garlic, I'm just cutting off the little ends. There are a couple of bad places on it. I'm not going to cut it up super tiny. Like, I'm just going to cut it into like thin strips, I guess is what, or thin rounds or whatever. I don't know how well you can see that because this one's going to stay the size it is because it's super tiny already. I don't know what I was going to say. Anyway, I'm just going to cut up this garlic, get the ends off, which I know some people cook the ends, but I don't cook the onion ends. I don't know why I would do the garlic. I don't know. I guess it would hurt you. Some people do cook the onion ends. It's also raining. They actually closed the schools early because of the storm that was supposed to be coming through. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but right now it's just raining. I don't know why I didn't go ahead and cut up the onion and put it in there. And I'm just going to season this with some salt and pepper on this part. And the other, I'm going to marinate for a little bit. You'll see, because I'm going to do that with y'all after I get this in the oven. This one was almost too. I tried to grow a friend, I guess. I don't know. I may just put the meat in there and start with the potatoes and stuff after I get all this in there. Well, I want this to cook some first, the vegetables. But I don't know yet how I'm going to do it. Alright, salt. This is just regular table salt. But remember that Potatoes need salt. There's a gnat. Go away. Get away from my stuff. Why are gnats? Well, it's this time of year. And then black pepper. You don't want, I mean, we like black pepper around here, so we use quite a bit. And I'm going to put some of this garlic sea salt in there as well. Just because I saw it there. Alright, we'll move this and get my other stuff ready. I'm going to stir that up some. Here, use this. Yeah, I'm most likely either going to have to put 2 pans or else just put it all together. We'll decide as we go. I'll decide as I go. Alright. This is going into the oven. Like I said, it's at 400. I'm gonna let it cook for about 20 minutes, like that, and you know, let it come. I'll come back to that part. All right, so here's a bowl for the meat. Let me move some stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, so these are the steaks that I've had them in the refrigerator for a couple of days thawing. They're still partially frozen. But I'm just going to cut them into like little strips like that. Can you focus? Maybe? Maybe not. It doesn't want to focus on what I'm telling it to focus on. It's focusing. There we go. That's what I should have done with the other. Anyways. I'm going to put them into this bowl. And I am using the same cutting board and the same knife because I don't see any reason why I wouldn't. Now, these that are like longer, I'm going to cut them in half. I did not expect this to still be a little bit frozen. And I'm kind of cutting it kind of on an angle, or trying to. I really did not expect it to be partially frozen still. And it's been in there since Sunday night. It's Wednesday now. It's fine though. It won't be frozen in a little while. I'm cutting it like I would for steak sandwiches or fajitas. I'm not doing it any other, you know, certain way. Same way I would cut for that stuff. That's what I'm doing. And I have some Worcestershire sauce that I'm going to put in. I don't know what all I'm going to put in yet. I've got to decide that. I'll leave that one that size. I know I'm going to put some of that garlic sea salt in there that I put with the potatoes. I'm going to put that. I'm going to put black pepper. I might put some Danos, just because we haven't used it in a while for anything. I some French onion. I don't know. Jeff, can you come over here and give me your input? It smells good. I'm not talking about the way it smells. I'm talking about what we're going to put in this steak. Smells good. That's his input. Alright, move this out of the way. Alright, I gotta wash my hands and then I'll talk to you about it. I want to know if you think I should put certain things in there. I'll tell you in just a second. But after touching raw meat, I need to wash my hands. Alright, I'm putting this in there whether you like it or not. I know. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. Just to keep it, help it from sticking or whatever. Alright, so I'm thinking some of this garlic sea salt. Yeah. This has got herbs in it too. It's got, what else it got in it? Where's it at? Garlic, onion, and parsley with the sea salt. That's all that's in it. Garlic, onion, and parsley. What about the French onion? You think that or no? It's got the toasted onion with sea salt, so I mean, it might be very similar to what I just put in. No, we're not putting everything in it. Alright, so this is the Kinder's French onion with toasted onion and sea salt. What about Buttery Steakhouse? Yeah. You're not talking, man. Buttery Steakhouse is one, which we put butter in the other. It's one that we bought, and I didn't really like what we used it for in the beginning, and then I was trying to figure out what to do with it, and turns out we love it on lots of things. What about the Danos? Alright, this has garlic, onion, spices, which I don't know what that means, sea salt, mustard seed, lemon peel, and orange peel. That's what's in that. And we need black pepper for sure. That's not even a question. And I don't know how much I put of each thing. That's good enough seasoning? I think it's good enough seasoning. Oh, come back here. I did clean the counter last week. Actually today and yesterday and the day before. I think I need some more Worcestershire sauce in there.
It looks like it's soaking it up, don't it?
It does. It looks like it's just...
A little more.
Yeah, put a little bit more. And also, we got to make the grocery list today. Alright, that's good. And we need to make sure we have some of that in the pantry. Because if we don't, we got to get some more, because that's not much in that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just cover this up, and in a little bit I'll come back and put it in there with the potatoes. Can you turn the camera off? Okay, so this has been in there for probably about 23 minutes, because Noah was unloading and reloading the dishwasher, so I didn't stop him. And I'm just going to take just a spatula and kind of move it around a little bit. And now that I've got that moved around some, I'm just going, Jeffrey, see these are just already almost done, these potatoes, but these are not. Come here for a minute, please. I want to get his opinion. That one got a little bit of air to it, but it doesn't hurt anything. It's not bad. It's just the air got to the potato. But y'all that cook, you know that. Alright, so do you think I should move this over and put the meat in, or just put the meat over it? Which one do you think?
faster if it's on the side.
This will get done faster if it was on the side? Or do you think the meat will get done fast? Do you think I should just leave this in this one and put the meat in that skillet? Alright, so I'm going to put this back in on the bottom shelf. I'm going to get Jeffrey to do it since he's over here. And I'm just going to put the meat in this one. And I'm going to put some butter and stuff in here. Butter. Yeah. It's hot up in there. You have to use both sides, or that way. Not the very bottom, but yeah, that one. Oh, did you think I should put some green beans on that too? Some frozen green beans, just like sprinkle it over the top.
I'll eat it.
Okay, well, can you get it back out? Alright, he's going to take it back out, and I'm going to put these in. But I think because these have been in the freezer and they have the ice crystals on them, I think I'm going to rinse them just to get that extra water off of them. What do you think? You think I should?
Go for it.
Alright. I already washed this, but I can rewash it. Actually, let's stick that in the oven for a few minutes, that other iron skillet, so it can be getting warmed up. It may not get as hot as I'd like, but see all the ice crystals and stuff? That's just gonna make that not as good to me. Alright, now I'm just going to sprinkle this over. Throw a little bit on the counter for good measure. Which is what I did. I'm trying not to get the water in, but I'm failing. Alright, stick this back into the oven. And I'm going to give the other one just a few minutes to warm up, that other skillet. Then I'll come back and show y'all what we're going to do. Okay, so I don't know if this is quite hot enough yet, but it's just going to have to do. It's melting the butter. I'm putting another half a stick of butter in, or I'm putting butter in this one, in this pan. And because I want it to be garlic butter, I'm doing the same thing with this garlic. So I ended up using a full clove, a pretty big clove of garlic. But garlic's good for you and it's fine, and you know, it'll be alright. It could have stood to be a little bit hotter, but it's melting it good enough, and that's okay. I'm just not smelling the aroma of the garlic like I did the other time, but that's alright. I'm not going to worry about it. It will get cooked in there. Alright, there's the garlic. Move it around some with the butter. I mean, it's melting and it's warm. It's just not as hot as I'd like. Alright, now I'm just going to go ahead and put the meat in. Ideally, this would sizzle as I put it in, but it's not going to. It's smoking though, a little bit. Oh, splashing everywhere. And also, y'all might have noticed, I have changed shirts because the other one got pretty warm today before this rain set in. Alright, so I'm going to put all that in there, and then I'm going to stick it back in the oven. I don't have the onions in this, but that's okay. there's different types of onion salt in this, so it'll be alright. So I'm going to stick it in there. I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to do this, like how long I'm going to leave it in there, but I'm going to try 20 minutes at first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so here's the vegetables after they're done, and the sweet potatoes got done way faster than everything else, but everything's done there, and this is like the steak strips or whatever, and you see the little pieces of garlic and the butter and all that. This had a lot of liquid in it earlier, but a lot of it has gone away. So this is our supper. It's been a while since I did a cook with me or cooked with you guys, and I just kind of came up with this because we needed to use that, but we didn't want fajitas again. Oh, I need to turn the oven off. We needed to use that up. We didn't want fajitas. We didn't want steak sandwiches. Well, we really didn't have enough buns or anything for that. We could have used bread, but anyways, this is much better, and we don't have to have any other side because we've got like 5 vegetables there. 5 different types. We've got 2 types of onion, 2 types of potato, green beans. We don't want that. I just saw that, and garlic in there. So I will let you know if we like it or not in just a moment. Okay. So we're done with dinner, and Jeff is going to make him work bowl. Noah got his carburetor for his lawnmower a little early, but he can't go work on it today because it's raining. But he is kind of excited about it. I think he's looking through the rocks. But that was probably one of the best meals I've cooked in a while. I've got to write it down as I'm editing because I want to cook that again for sure. Now I might change the type of meat because it still was a little bit tough, but it's better than it was the last time I cooked that steak from that pack. So we don't have any more of that, so that's good. But in fact, we have very little of meat at all because we haven't been restocking the freezer. But that was delicious. I think, Jeff, what was your favorite part?
All of it.
All of it.
Vegetables.
I think my favorite part was the vegetables too. The meat was good, but I think the vegetables were my favorite. What about you, Noah? The vegetables. Well, I could do the vegetables without the meat sometime and just have them, you know, as a side dish. But Noah actually was going to get seconds, and his stomach said no. He couldn't. He just couldn't do it. He wanted more. I want more, but I can't do it. I don't want to make myself sick. I don't want to regret the meal. But it was really good, and I will try to make a printable for it. I guess you would probably have to get the type of seasonings that I used if you wanted to make it. But the vegetables, I didn't use any special, like, I just used salt and pepper. Didn't I just use salt and pepper? I'm not sure. I'll have to figure. Yeah, I only used salt and pepper in those, but they were delicious. And I guess I'm just going to be calling this garlic butter beef and potatoes. I don't know, beef and vegetables. It was delicious. It was very good. There are no leftovers except enough for Jeff for work. I didn't expect there to be leftovers of the meat because there wasn't a lot there, but the vegetables are gone. But I will see you guys again tomorrow. I don't know what's going to be going on. I don't know what I'm doing, but I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so be notified whenever I upload. Share with a friend if you think someone would enjoy all the things that we do here. And most importantly, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. If you have a prayer request, you can leave that down below as well. If you don't want to leave prayer requests in the public area, you can always send me an email if you'd like for me to pray for you. You can also do unspoken requests. Everybody doesn't have to know what you want us to pray about. We can just pray for you. God knows. That's all that matters. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.